My channel is all about combining fitness and food. I'm a fit foodie and I like to create baking creations in the kitchen to take items that I really enjoy but also make them healthy so I don't lose track of my goals. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So today we're going to take a fun fall treat and we're going to make a healthy version of it. Each cupcake we're going to make is only going to be 138 calories. So it'll stay healthy for you, but it'll keep that pumpkin spice sort of fun flavor for you as well. So the cupcakes that we're going to make are pumpkin spice cupcakes with a cinnamon cream cheese frosting. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, how cute is this bowl? I don't know if you can read it. It says Lynn's Lean Cakes. So back before me and Dallas got married, I actually had a little sort of side business where I made lean cakes, which are healthy, low-calorie cupcakes, sort of like what I'm making today, or muffins, and I would sell them to actually help raise money to put towards our wedding, because we paid for a lot of our wedding ourselves, so that's what I used that for back in the day, but you know, life happens. I didn't really have time for that anymore. I really wanted to focus on my career, so that sort of fell by the wayside. I haven't been selling those for a while, but I really loved it when I did, and I love to bake. So I'm going to take a recipe that I used to use for that, and I'm going to show you how to make it yourself. So we are going to start by placing some of our dry ingredients in the bowl, and then we'll mix in our wet ingredients into that. And so these are high protein, pumpkin spice, healthy, low-calorie cupcakes. So for our dry ingredients, we're going to start with the Quest protein powder. Quest has really, really great flavors. I've heard they're great for baking. I actually haven't used them before, but I wanted to get sort of a flavor that would match the other flavors I'm using. So this is their cinnamon crunch flavor. I also, in one of my other videos, recently did a review of some healthy fall treats. And I tried the salted caramel and it's very good. So I'm excited to try this. So this is the Quest Cinnamon Crunch Protein Powder. We're just gonna put one serving in. So it'd be one scoop if you have a tub of it. We're gonna dump that in the bowl. And then next we're gonna add our oat flour. So you can buy oat flour at the store or you can just use like whole wheat flour. I actually, just to save money and just because I already have them, I take oats and I just use either a food processor or a blender and I just blend them up until they become a flour. So this is my oat flour. It's like pretty fine. You can see just took some oats, made it into a fine powder. And this is a 1/4 cup of oats that is ground into flour. So a 1/4 cup of whatever flour you want to use. And then next we're going to add our wet ingredients. So for the pumpkin flavor, pumpkin is actually really low carb, low calorie, and it's really great to use it. It keeps things really moist, so you can even use this in just like some healthy chocolate brownies or other cupcakes that you're making and other flavors, maybe chocolate. And this will actually keep them really moist. And you can't really taste the pumpkin unless you sort of add those other like spices ingredients to sort of enhance it. So it's a really great way to make things really moist and keep that moisture in whatever you're baking, especially if you're baking with protein powder. A lot of times it can get pretty dry, so this is a really good tip to keep that. Yogurt's also a really good way to do that as well, so we're going to use both in this recipe. They're going to be very, very gooey, soft, very delicious. So this is a 1/2 cup of pumpkin. A 1/2 cup of pumpkin, and that's the pumpkin puree. I just got it from the can. But keep in mind when you're buying this, you don't want the pumpkin pie filling. The pumpkin pie filling is full of sugar, and you're not going to want that in these. You're going to try to keep them healthy, low calories, so you're not going to want that. You just want the plain pumpkin puree with no sugar added, and I think a whole 1/2 cup is only like 10 grams of carbs. Half of that is only 5, so it's very low in calories, very nice. And then we're going to add just a serving. This is about a 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt. So this is also going to add some protein, it's going to add some density, and it's also going to add some flavor and some moisture. So this is going to be really great. I actually typically make this with just the plain fat-free yogurt. Greek yogurt, but today I'm using a salted caramel flavor just because I thought it would be kind of fun to add just an extra little boost to the flavors in this. So I went ahead and added that there. All right, so to add a little bit more sweetness, I'm just gonna add a little bit of the sugar-free syrup. That maple flavor goes really well with the cinnamon and the pumpkin spice. So just add a little bit of that. Next, I'm gonna add just a little bit of cinnamon and a half teaspoon of this pumpkin pie spice. So the spices are actually what make the pumpkin pie flavor. I don't know if you knew that. Pumpkin itself doesn't really taste that great. You have to add some sweetener, some sort of sugar or something that's gonna sweeten it up, and then the spice is really what makes it taste like the pie that you're used to. All right, so that's a half a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And then we're gonna do a half a teaspoon of baking powder. So baking powder adds some lightness and it makes the cupcakes rise. So it's really gonna make them be fluffy like regular cake, even though they're a healthier version and they have that protein in there. So a half a teaspoon of that. Gonna mix this all up. This is super easy, as you can see. Just a few ingredients. Mix it up and it's ready to go in our cupcake liners, into our cupcake tin. So I kind of want to show you the consistency of this. So it's pretty thick, but it's very much like that cake batter that you're probably used to using from like when you make brownies or cakes. That's sort of the consistency. Cookie dough is much thicker, so you're going to want a lot thinner, but it is just going to be kind of goopy. And then we're just going to divide this up in fourths. So this is a small recipe. You can obviously double, triple it, but I typically just make it as like a treat for myself. So this makes 4 cupcakes. So I have a cupcake tin here with 4 liners in it, and I do spray the liners with some just like cooking spray, just because it makes it easier when you're getting them out, because this does get pretty gooey and pretty has a lot of moisture, so that just helps get it out. And I'm just going to fill up 4 of these tins with the batter, about 2/3 of the way full, because they will rise because of that baking powder. And then I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. And so we'll just be able to pop these right in as soon as we get them into the tin. That front one's a little more full than the rest, but that's okay. It'll just be an extra big cupcake. All right, so we have our cupcakes filled in our tin, and I'm just gonna put these in the oven, and they're gonna bake for 20 minutes. So 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes, and then I'll be right back once they bake, and we'll take a look at how they turned out. All right, so now that our pumpkin spice cupcakes are baking in the oven, we're gonna go ahead and make the healthy, fat-free cream cheese frosting for the top. So what I have here is 4 ounces of fat-free cream cheese. So it's 1 ounce per cupcake. So if you made 8 cupcakes, you'd want 8 ounces of cream cheese. Just gonna dump that in my bowl. And then what I have to add to this is I have some sweetener. I just have Splenda. You could use stevia, you could use erythritol, whatever sort of low calorie, no calorie sweetener you want to use. So I'm gonna dump that in. I have some cinnamon, so I'm gonna add just a little bit of spice to our frosting as well. Just put a little cinnamon in there. And then I'm gonna add just a little bit of our sugar-free maple syrup, just to add a little maple flavor and sort of tie all of our cupcake and frosting flavors together. So now I take a fork, I need to just sort of mash all of the ingredients together. And it sort of takes a while. You sort of have to work it into everything because the cream cheese is very thick. So I just use my fork to sort of mash everything together. start to combine it, and you can see it starts to get a little smoother, starts to get more creamy, blends everything together. So I'm just gonna keep stirring this and keep mixing all those ingredients together. And by the end, you can see we have a very creamy sort of icing, frosting that we can put on the top. So it's very easy. A lot of times if I don't have like the maple syrup, or if I don't want that flavor, I'll add just vanilla and sweetener to make it for some of my other flavored cupcakes that I like to make. So that's how you make the frosting. Very easy, very quick. I'll let this chill a little bit while the cupcakes finish baking, and then once they get out and cool, I'll top them and tell you all the final calories and macros and how they taste. So see you in a bit. So my muffins have now baked, been taken out of the oven, and I've let them cool for a while. So I baked mine at 350 for 20 minutes, and the middle is still very gooey, which is the way I like them. I like the middle to be very soft and gooey, but if you want them to be a little more firm in the middle, I would cook them for 25 minutes instead. But they are cooled and out of the oven. I just went and ran a few errands while they cooled down. You want to make sure you let them cool, because if not, the frosting, when you place it on the muffins or the cupcakes, is just going to melt off. So you want to make sure you let them cool. And then I just went ahead and took that cream cheese frosting that I created, and I just put it in a plastic baggie. If you have a piping bag, you can do that as well, but I didn't have one available for me right now, so I just used a little plastic bag. I'm just going to take some scissors and cut off the tip. And then I can use this to pipe onto my cupcakes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So this is what they look like. Nice thick creamy frosting. So you just pipe it on there like so. And then you'll have a nice, healthy pumpkin spice cupcake with cream cheese frosting. What I like to do once I have the frosting on is I top them with just a little sprinkle of cinnamon, just to add a little touch to the top. And there we are. Pumpkin spice cream cheese cupcakes. Only 138 calories per cupcake. Each cupcake has 2 grams of fat, 15 grams of carbs, and 15 grams of protein. So great for your macros, healthy, delicious, and sort of helps curb that sweet craving without messing up your goals, without getting you off track, and just really helps you have those flavors of fall without getting you off track. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and this recipe. I'll make sure I put the recipe in the video and down below, as well as the calories and the macros. So thanks for watching. I'll do another little take with a taste test and let you know what I think of the taste. Alright, so we are going to give these a taste test. I wanted to show you what they look like up close, so you can see they're nice and soft and gooey, nice thick cream cheese frosting on top. So let's give it a taste test. Like I said, I do put a little spray on my liners when I'm putting them in the pan, just because they are pretty gooey and they do stick a little bit, so you can see it does come off pretty easily, which is great. I'm just gonna pull this off. Cheers. Very good. Very gooey in the center with that cream cheese frosting. Definitely tastes like a regular great dessert. but doesn't have all the calories, and make sure you stay on track to reach your goals. So let me know if you tried this. Like this video and comment down below if you liked this recipe. If you try it, let me know. Tag me in your photos. And I hope you all enjoy. If you like this video or other videos, I will post videos about fitness, workouts, about life, about motivation, about recipes, how to bring health and fitness into every single part of your life. So if you like any of those items, please click the subscribe button. And as always, if you want to get a notification every time I post a video, please click that little bell. So thanks everyone for watching. Really appreciate you all, and I hope you enjoy the recipe. Cheers. Bye.